Good morning, guys. Well, is it morning? It's afternoon for me. It's morning for someone around the world. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is a really important Friday today because we have the US stock options expiry. And yeah, we need to get prepared for that. At the same time, Bitcoin is in a really critical zone. So I'm going to talk about that. Jordan says, Annie, you're late. I was 1 minute late because I just saw all of the spam comments. So I was trying to get rid of them. As you guys know, we don't have behind the scenes admins here to do it. So I had to quickly try and block them all out as best I can. Anyway, if they come back, what I don't know, like we just have to deal with them, but hopefully they're gone for now. So yes, apologies for me being that little bit late while I was trying to manage that. So I want to get in and talk about Bitcoin, talk about stock market as well, because like I said, we have the stock options expiries. What else do I want to talk about? Anyway, we'll see whatever happens. Have a look at some altcoins. It may be a time that you have to protect some risk. So we'll take a look at some altcoins as well. Got some really good entries earlier this week on a fair few alts. Mark D says I pre-liked. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, definitely smash the like button nice and early because it really does help us get these videos around, especially when we're live and we're doing live TA, which is what we're going to be doing in today's video. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Annie. This is Trade Travel Chill, and I'm going to get straight into the Bitcoin chart first because the 4-hour chart has my highest area of interest right now, simply because when we look left on the 4-hour chart, you can see this candle right here is a high volume vector candle that was where price heavily fell away last time, and we returned to it once here, which makes this a very strong zone for sellers. And so what we're seeing now is that price last night came back into the zone, and since then on a smaller time frame you'll see that we had a bit of a rejection. But when you have a look at that, the price over the last night, you'll see that there were a number of wicks into the halfway mark of that zone. And so again, that's just a really, really important area to be looking for rejections. So now if I go down to the 1 hour, you'll see it a little bit more clearly. It's not really what I want to talk about though. What I really want to talk about is the 15-minute time frame, because on the 15-minute, if I zoom out, you'll see here that so far this week, we have, although we had a tricky start to the week, the false move that started the week was not fun, but we have had our 3 rises through the week. And then what you're seeing here that happened last night was we had a multi-session M formation right in that 4-hour zone. So the first peak right here created that vector, and then we returned to it, which trapped the traders. Now, since then, we've had a move down and away, and we have to be real. Like, personally, I don't think it's a new trade day, but I think it's a good day to plan for future setups. So there's a few things about this zone that I want to point out. Number one, the high of the week is at 116,605. So that's the highest point that price went last week. And currently that's holding as support. So that's one thing to be aware of, but we have an M formation above it. We have a drop through here. We have a lower high that created today's initial high of the day. And actually, let me just change some settings here because I want to show you yesterday's price action. So if we have a look at yesterday's price action through here, so this is where Asia set the low, and then this is where Asia set the high. Now, usually in like typical price movement, once Asia sets the low and the high, it's UK and US job, one of them, to break one of those levels. And what we can see happen yesterday was both sessions did not break either level. So when that happens, you expect that the move is going to be made early the next day. So usually it can be Asia, UK, but in this case, we saw it happen in the dead gap zone. So we had this move down here. And so the problem is that this move through here could be the beginning of the false move to set us up into the weekend. Why are we having it early? Well, because that pattern that happened yesterday as a trader was the lead in to know that it was going to happen early today. That's number one. And number two, like I said, we have the US stock options expiry today, which is a pretty big one. This, you can see here, 4.9 trillion in stock and ETF options will expire tomorrow. This was written yesterday, so it's today. This is almost 1.2 times higher than the total crypto market cap. Historically, such large expirations have caused downward volatility for stocks and crypto. Not necessarily instantly though, so I don't want you to freak out about that. Oh, here it says it. This led to a crash in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, there's a possibility that this could lead to a correction coming up. I'm not 100% certain that this is the start of the correction already because it's a pretty slow move down. So it may be possible that, you know, part of the Friday trap, or maybe even next week, there is still another move up before we then eventually correct. The reason why I think that is because, well, I don't actually think it, but the reason why I'm looking out for it is because when I look at the 1 hour time frame, and guys, you have to forgive my things take so long to load because of our Dubai internet issue at the moment. But when I have a look at the 1 hour time frame after the weekend trap here, for myself, I only see 2 rises through here. So this here is rise 1. This is a retracement. This here is rise 2. So it is possible, if the levels feed up to a higher time frame, it is possible that we get one more rise on the 1 hour, which may not happen today. It may be a next week thing, which, to be honest with you, like, it's not normal if we're going to crash, right? Crash, like what they're saying. We don't normally crash from resistance. You know what I mean? Like, there's normally a fake out that gets people to think, oh, we broke resistance, then we crash. So there's part of me that thinks, okay, I can identify the price is in my 4 hour zone of interest, but A, we're not moving away fast. And B, the levels don't look complete on the 1 hour. So, and C, the stock options don't necessarily mean immediate crash. So I'm keeping my eyes and ears open for a potential further move up before down. And the other thing that makes me think that, we'll have a look in a second, is you can see this green bar here. So before I hit record, there were buy orders there. Let's check if they're still there. Yeah, they are. So see here, there's buy orders between 116,400 to 116,500, which is that green area that I marked out. So it's possible that this is a retracement. We get a level 3 fake out on the 1 hour. Again, not saying today, eventually, because it's 1 hour time frame, it might not happen today. If it's 15-minute, I would tell you, yeah, that's going to happen today. But it's 1 hour, so it may take some time, and it's Friday. So I'm keeping an eye on this. If these orders stay here, then they will likely act as the support on Bitcoin for now. And that will then have me think, okay, maybe we will get that 1 hour level 3, because when I look at the sell orders above price, I don't have any high level sells till 120K. It doesn't mean that they won't come in, but at this point in time, I don't have sells till 120K. So now if I go back to my chart, 120K is all the way up here. I mean, that would be a very big rise level 3. So like, yeah, I'm not saying bank on that happening, but it does make sense that if at some point we're going to correct within, like this post says, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we may go up first before down, because that's what we do. We go up if we're going to crash before we go down to induce traders, right? Not true. We don't have to test all-time high to crash. I didn't say we have to. I hate being misquoted. I actually did not say we have to go up to the all-time high before we crash. Those weren't my words. If you want to quote me correctly. So anyway, moral of the story is I'm keeping an eye out because the 15-minute is currently complete as far as its levels, and there's an M formation. However, it hasn't moved away fast. So it's possible, very, very possible right now, that this completes as sideways drops, which if you know the TBD system, then you will know that rises and drops can be stacked, which is when they actually rise or drop in price. And sideways is when you have high volume, but the price doesn't actually break support or resistance levels. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for that. I want to see, I'm not really acting on anything. Like on Fridays, my job is to open a hedge position against my open positions if I want to keep my positions open through the weekend. So I already did that last night on here. So I already have a short position, already long, as you should all know. It's fine. You know, both of them stop losses is clear of the entry anyway, so I can't go wrong. But I'll probably manually close the short if we break the initial high of the day. If we don't, I'll keep that open and see how the weekend plays out. Is there anything else I want to say about Bitcoin? I'm just trying to think now. I think that might be it, but I did want, oh, no, I wanted to have a look at this. So can you guys, yeah, you can see this. So having a look at this, we've got the Bitcoin price up here. We've got coin margin in this row here. We've got stable coin margin here, and then just the normal CVD and spot CVD, and then open interest. Okay, they're the four things that you're looking at right now. So we've got rising open interest, which means that we're getting commitment in a direction. Don't waste your time answering to those comments, Annie. So we've got rising open interest. And the red flag here is that we have the declining spot. So if you're going to have a real trend in any direction, you want to see the trend supported by spot. That's when you know you don't have a fake out. So if the suspicion holds true that we get the 1 hour time frame rise 3 and this spot CVD continues to decline, that's a fake out. Okay, that is a fake out. And that's when you go, okay, yeah, I know exactly what's happening. Get ready for a reversal. So keep an eye on that. This is Coinalyze website. It's free. You can use it and then just add all of these. We do have the stablecoin contracts also closing. So I would say that that's probably profit taking because we've had a move up. Like I said, we're at a key resistance. It makes sense for normal traders to be closing their positions on a Friday before stock options expire. It all makes sense why that would be going down. But the coin futures are starting to rise at the moment. So I can't explain that. I'm not even going to try. I don't know what they're thinking to be rising at resistance. Maybe they're trying to push it through higher. I'm not 100% sure. This one's an outlier. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The other two make perfect sense to me. And the fact that the open interest is rising means that they're getting commitment that they want as they're closing their own position. So just be very, very careful of that. And yeah, that might be your hint that if you've been in really good trades this weekend, maybe you don't want to risk it into the US session today. Maybe you want to take your profit and run for the hills, I guess. Okay, what else? Let's talk about dominance because as you may know, I personally, well, not personally, a lot of people are looking for this lower high, right? So really, a lot of analysts have been sort of anticipating that with this dominance dropping so much that there will be some sort of rotation back into Bitcoin with a lower high, and that might cause your alts to correct a little bit and then will drop even further. I still am keeping my eye out for that because we did come to the 800 EMA, which was my target. So I'm still keeping an eye out for this. I'm just not so sure it's going to come all the way back to the 50 EMA at this point in time. Like I said, I'm going to watch to see, but the reason why I'm not kind of like banking on this essentially is because if we go back to have a look at the other times when we've been in a bull market, see how the dominance was just straight down. Like there wasn't any retests, you know, it was once it was down, once it was trending down, it was just down. And even if you go to the one before, I think it was this one here, there were a couple of retests. There was one here and one here, but for the most part it was just really straight down. So yeah, I'm not banking on it. I'm going to see if it actually happens. If it happens, then that's fine. I know what's going on, but it's not essential to me that this does come up and create a lower high. So yeah, you have to keep an eye on that in combination with everything else. So when you have a look at it in combination with the stablecoin dominance, it's just doing what we kind of hope it will do. We want to see it break down if we're to remain bullish on Bitcoin and altcoins. It hasn't broken down yet. It's essentially just trending. So for now, we're just keeping an eye on that. But the total, what is this? Total 2 minus stables is it's looking okay. Like it's broken a high. It's created a double top right now, but it's higher highs and higher lows. So it's looking okay for now. This all might actually be, if I redraw that now, this might all be like this. So this is still in the process of creating the third. So that's a key resistance there. What else is there? Okay, we've got a little bit more up here. So yeah, let's just see if this is it's still in the process of creating the third rise. Maybe that's the target, 1.58 on this particular chart. And that's it, that's fine. So I want to have a look at stocks because of the options expiry. Now, I actually had a quick look at this before we streamed and I was shocked because I didn't realize my trade was doing so well. So we've had this gap up here. Now that I think about it, it makes sense. I think this is a rise into the expiry. So again, that could be a fake move, right? That could be exactly what I was talking about before, where if we're going to correct, they send it up before down. So it could be possible that that's what we're witnessing right now. Let me just see on the small time frame. A lot of volatility here. So yeah, gap up here, volatility here. I think this was FOMC, wasn't it? We were watching that live. If you happen to catch it on YouTube, it's quite funny. But yeah, so this could all just be being driven up into the expiry later. Now, actually, one thing, if this does correct, I don't know, some people say it's silly to short the S&P, but at some point in time, there's going to be a very good time to short the S&P, or wait for it to short, wait for it to correct, and then open the next long position. So if you are wanting to trade stocks with crypto, I used to do this on a different exchange, but it's very difficult to use and I don't like it. So recently I started using BTCC, and I'm going to show you where to find them because this exchange has been around for like 14 years, never been hacked. It's a good exchange. But on this exchange, you can trade crypto, but you can also trade stocks and commodities. And so, yeah, I found this, started playing around with it, really like it, asked if we could get together a deal for TTC community. So they've done that. They've given a 15% bonus on first time deposits if you use the link in the description of this video. And you can also unlock extra bonuses up to 10,055 per users. So here you can see trusted by millions for 14 years. Hundreds of crypto. Don't worry about this. If I catch anyone using 500x leverage, I'm going to kill you. But no VPN, no KYC, and tokenized stocks and forex. But they're not easy to find. So let me show you exactly what to do. If you do want to trade stocks and forex, to find it, once you've created your account, you go here to futures and you'll see, can you see that? Yes, you can. You'll see here that there's two things that say perpetual futures. One of them has beta written next to it. It says pro beta, and the other one doesn't. So what's happening right now is BTCC are kind of upgrading their platform for perpetual futures contracts. So this one that says beta is the upgraded one, right? But because it's in the process of being upgraded, it doesn't have as many things for you to trade for now. So you can trade like these crypto pairs only, right? So if you just want to trade crypto, you would choose the beta one because the beta one allows you to use isolated margin. Whereas this one that doesn't say beta, this one is the older one, and this has a lot more options. However, it's only cross margin. So make sure you use stop losses if you want to use this. But this one is where you can trade the stocks. So once you click on that, you go to the ticker here, and then see this line that says all USD, no, sorry, it's the one under, where it says hot, all that stuff there. Just click this arrow all the way to the end and you'll see tokenized stocks and commodities. And so on there, you can trade like Apple, Amazon, you can trade coins, Circle, gold, Google, heaps of stuff, S&P, Nvidia, like, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So if you are wanting to do that, but you want to keep your profits in crypto, then do it here. And also, if you do join using the link in the description of the video, you get VIP2 trading fees for life, which is very hard to earn. Like you have to trade a lot to earn that. And they're giving it to TTC users from day one without having to prove any volume. So check that out if you want. Anyway, for me personally, I like to trade these very long term. Like with crypto, I have to be kind of short term, you know, because of the volatility. But trading S&P, NASDAQ, things like that, it's a very long trade. Like this is one trade that I've been in since April, right? And it's not time for me to take profit yet. So yeah, it's good to have some sort of trade going in the background, which actually reminds me of something else, but I'm going to come to that later, because first I want to talk about altcoins then. And I want to talk about altcoins on the 4 hour, because this week we got very good setups. Let's take a look. Do I want to cover ETH? Do you want me to cover ETH? I mean, I've actually never thought of this strategy until now. What strategy? Short res, long sup until we get wrecked. Okay, to me, ETH, it needs more time, but it may be building like a triangle formation or something like that, but it's very far away from being ready, in my opinion. This is the 4 hour time frame. You know, actually, let's have a fresh look at this liquidity, because we might need to reset this. Let's see what's going on here. No, it's basically still in the same zone. It's basically still the same. So nothing to worry about there, really. Ideally, we want to see this level hold that it's tested a couple times, which is 44.60. And what you want to see is this complete now. So again, it's going to take time because it's a 4 hour, but if ETH does something like this, we'll be okay. And then we would expect a breakout to the upside. But if it starts to break down into these wicks and tests the 200 EMA or it breaks the 200 EMA, we're in a bit of trouble. So 200 EMA is our area that we want to see ETH hold if we're to remain bullish. And then I went through a lot of these yesterday, and they're not presenting setups now, but they're presenting disappointment. For example, XRP came right into my target up here and then came back for a retest of 200 EMA, and now it's created a lower high. And that's an issue, but it's also created higher lows. So again, they could be in the process of creating formations, but the price action is unclear to be able to say, do this, be bullish or be bearish. Right now on this, like if you're not already in a trade on it, you kind of have to be a bit neutral on it. Same thing happened with ADA. Look at ADA. ADA was really strong over the last couple of weeks, came all the way back perfectly to our area of interest, had a strong move out, but created a lower high. And especially with ADA, you can see why it's struggling where it is, because of the vector that was created on that first push up. And look here again, this is why these vectors are so accurate. It rejected exactly 50% of that 4 hour vector. So it hasn't invalidated any long positions that you might have, but it's a problem that it's a lower high. Again, if Bitcoin gives us that 1 hour rise 3, these alts will break through and we don't have to worry about it anymore. That's why I'm saying your longs aren't necessarily invalidated, or your high time frame longs, they're not necessarily invalidated yet, but we need them to get past their previous high. Link as well. Look, see how obvious this is when you trade with vectors? You just mark this candle right here. And look, it's rejected exactly at that candle right there at this point in time. So look, it's okay if these come back now, for example, and hold an EMA, any of them, they might shoot through as part of the like what they will get help from the rise of Bitcoin, right? So again, that's why I'm saying they're not invalidated, but they're struggling at this level, but it also makes sense why they're struggling at this level. Litecoin, when it decides to load, there we go. See, vector, rejection at the vector. I don't need to mark it out. But let's have a look at ones that do have potential instead. So Aave has some potential that it's not ready yet, but it has potential if it creates a lower high inside of this zone now. Not a lower high, sorry, a higher low. And the reason why I say that is, again, you can see the green vector right here. So if we were to come back, say, and test, oh, sorry, that was the wrong thing. If we were to come back now and test, say, the top of it, even up to the middle of it, but let's just say the top of it, you get your higher low, you would expect it's going to break out from there. So Aave is one that I'm keeping an eye on. That's all I have to say about that. I think that's a pretty easy, obvious trade. Algo is another one. And again, I don't care what these coins do fundamentally. I'm literally just looking at price action. So Algo has already created the higher low, which is a bit of an issue. So the perfect entry would have been there. This is what I want to see happen on the one that I just showed you, right? So that's already happened. Now you would be waiting to see if it's going to get a breakout. After it creates a higher low, that's when you want to see the breakout. So it's a problem that it hasn't broken out. It's come back to test this retail trend line yet another time. So I don't like that, but I'm going to keep an eye on it for this exact reason, because of this candle right here. So if price retraces back into this candle and gives yet another higher low, that's actually a second chance entry to go long. So this becomes a very important zone. Okay, this is for high time frame setups, not for day trade scalping. You know, day trade scalping, like I said, we had the M formation. You should probably be bearish short term on all of them. And then Quant, I think, was another one that I was watching. It's really, really struggling, but it keeps, look, right, it's not ready now because it keeps creating lower lows, right? But all of these lower lows spike into this area of interest, which comes from this blue vector candle here. Now, if it keeps going right to the bottom of that zone, that's okay, because there's another one down here. So I still think it's worth keeping an eye on, but on this one in particular, because of these two areas and because of the fact it continues to struggle, this one's going to require a conservative entry. So what's a conservative entry? It's where, let's just pretend this price action wasn't here, okay? Let's just pretend, wait, we'll go to here. Let's just pretend this was the price action. So let's just say you saw this and you're like, okay, that's a higher low, I'm going to go long. That's what you would normally do. And this here is an aggressive entry. But in this case, because it just keeps creating lower highs and it keeps rejecting and creating, lower lows and lower highs, and it keeps rejecting 200 EMA, in this case, you would be better off with a safer entry. And so the safer entry is that you identify that, but now you want more proof of the move. So you actually let the initial breakout happen. And then on the retest is where you get involved, right? So you would only get involved on a higher low after the breakout. So that way, now when I play what has happened so far, you can see that if you had decided, there are some times where a conservative entry is just a smarter entry. And if you had decided that for this, you would see that, or right now you wouldn't be going into drawdown, which this candle looks like you're about to do if you entered here. So for Quant, for me, I'm still watching it. And whether this happens here or, you know, it happens here, it's irrelevant. For me, it's not about the price, it's about the movement. So I'll be looking for this movement before getting involved in it. And again, 4-hour time frame might take some time. Pengu, let's talk about Pengu. It's so, as you guys know, I was hunting this setup for a long time. We got the initial one. Here was where I said to take some profit. We retraced, I'm pretty sure we retraced to 50 fib. Let me double check that. Did I draw it from here? No, I must have drawn it from here. Yeah, so we retraced to 50 fib, which was a perfect re-entry for those profits, which I'm pretty sure most of the community did do that. And then it went up to my second target. So this is rise 1, this is a retracement, this is rise 2. We would be expecting a retracement again before rise 3. So it might take some time, but I would keep an eye somewhere around the 50 EMA. There's two vectors here. Let me just move this out. So there's two vectors here to keep an eye on. This one first and then this one second. This one lines up with the 50 EMA. So it would be the more ideal entry, but it really just depends on how bullish things get. So this shouldn't be over yet. It should have another rise to go, providing we see, you know, bulls step in around that and we create a higher low. Now, what else did I want to show you? Curve. Oh yeah, so curve is one where we have a potential opportunity still to go. And that's what I've tried to look for you guys today. So I hope that makes sense. Like I'm not looking for things that have already run or that you're too late if you're not already in on them. I am trying to look for things that the opportunity hasn't presented yet so that you can still get in on the trade. If you appreciate that, there's a like button you can smash down below. But this is one that I see a potential opportunity coming up for. So you can see this big downtrend. You can see support. Vectors here is the area of interest. When you zoom out, it's pretty obvious. We've had a nice strong move here, and now we're retracing back. So I've got my alert on this for 0.768. That doesn't mean I'm automatically going to go in there, but that's going to be the first level that I'll look to see if a higher low is being created. But really, it can be anywhere in this vector candle zone right here. So potential opportunity coming up. Somebody asked me in Discord why I drew this as a channel instead of a trend line. Because of the volatility in the zone is the answer. So I couldn't get a clean trend line that made sense, but this whole channel shows me that there's volatility here and here. So that's why it's a channel anyway, who cares? That's the answer. CVX hit my take profit 1, and now we're waiting for the retracement. So I would keep an eye around the 250 EMA, 200 and the 50 EMA, because what will happen now is price will start to retrace. The 200 EMA will start to go like this, and the 50 EMA will start to go like this. And if price does like this, then we build like this. So we'll basically build a bull flag. So if the formation starts to look like that, then your entry is going to be around the 200 and the 50 when they meet up. And then we would expect that it's going to go to the second take profit range. So this is a good setup as long as we see buyers step in around there. Okay. Or should I leave that there? I should leave that there. Okay. So what else? This one I'm also am I still watching it? I'm still watching it only because it's at the bottom of this vector, but this one would have to, sorry, this one would have to be a conservative entry idea also, because it's just crap. It's crap right now. So yeah, if it breaks out, if it retests, then it will retest the EMAs at the same time here. So that would be good. So only if it does this, the entry would be here. Otherwise, it's a no trade. What am I looking for on Aptos? Nothing. I don't know why I have that one marked. Near broke out. I don't know why I wanted to talk to you about that. It broke out, but it's got 2 4-hour rises. So here's rise 1, retracement rise 2. So once this is finished, it should retrace and give another rise. So keep an eye out for that if you're wanting to trade near. And DOT hit my target. I wanted to talk about this because it's a good lesson. So with DOT, when you zoom out on DOT on the higher time frame, you see it was in this triangle here, and then we got the initial breakout. Come back here. We got the initial breakout and we got the retest, and that retest perfectly retested 50 fibs. Now, when retest 50 fibs, the target is the -27, and look, we spiked just there. So that rise there played out absolutely perfect, took out this liquidity. Let's see where new liquidity is now on this, because there should be another rise to come. And really, once this pulls back, you could just do the same. So you would put your fibs here to here. If it pulls back to the 50, your target's going to be the next -27. So not a lot of liquidity above. Look at I don't know. I mean, I don't like that this is such a big wick. That's a problem. But somewhere here would be a good level 3 entry if it comes back there. Let me try this other one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's my zone is basically through there. Okay. Now I'm going to read some comments before I move on, but I do want to ask you something. I have a really, really high risk bot that I want to set up, but it's super high risk, and I'm not going to set it up as a copy bot because it's too high risk. But what I want to ask you is, do you want me to take you through my settings and what it is, so that if you want to, you can set it up on your own, but it's your own responsibility. So let me know in the chat if you want to do that. Whilst I'm waiting for you to answer that, to let you know, if you're new here, we trade GridBots on Pionex, and you can copy my bots on Pionex. You just have to go to any of my videos and you will see that there is a section here saying copy my bots. If you decide to copy them, please also join the Discord so that you can stay updated with when I make changes. But really, ideally, what you should do is you should learn how to trade the bots yourself, empower yourself with the knowledge, because then you don't need to copy anyone else. And so if you don't know how to use bots, then we created a 100% free course for you. Again, that link is right here highlighted. No, sorry, it's not there. It is, it's here. So this whole section here, you just follow. So you'll have to first create your Pionex account using this link in the description. And then you'll come to that website, and down here it says get access, and as long as you've used our link to create your Pionex account, you fund it with $250, and that's not the cost of the course, that's your $250 to use on your own bots. Then you come here, click get access, fill out the information, you'll get immediate access. This course, it can be done in under an hour, so it's not a long, complicated course. It's very, very easy. But if you've never done bot trading before, it is important to know everything, because it's not as easy as like just copy someone and forget about it. Like, you do have responsibilities with it. So I highly recommend that if you need the education, get the course. It's free. You got nothing to lose. Otherwise, if you already know how and you do want to copy mine, you can copy them here. But you don't have to. You can just make up your own once you understand how to do it. Also on Pionex, you do get sign up bonuses if you use our link to join them. So you get these deposit bonuses, which are really good. 100 USDT gets you 100 USDT bonus, and you can use that to try out copying someone's bot. So it's basically risk-free money to check out the platform, see if you like it, and then you can then go ahead and use your own money. So up to 10,000 deposit gets you 1,000 USDT. Just wait a while, because the deposits are only distributed on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you were to join today, you probably won't get your deposit until next Tuesday. Now, that gives you time to do the course though, right, and study things. So have you guys, I can't believe you all said yes, you want the DGen bot. I should have known better. I should have known. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the settings. You set it up on your own. I am not responsible for this. The coin that I'm going to set up a bot on is WLFI. And the reason is because this has potential to turn into, if you're part of TTC, it has a potential to turn into a trade that we call the Binance listing trade strategy. And it's not there yet. It's certainly not there yet. So it's not there for a trade necessarily, but it's perfect for a GridBot, because when you zoom out on it, it's in this accumulation right now. And there's a lot of volatility through. So with the GridBots, you want a range and you want volatility. So to me, but this also has the potential to go very, very wrong, okay? Because the bottom of it may not be in yet, and that's the risk with it. But if alts take off, this is likely going to do very well, and it's got a lot of upside. So for me, I'm setting the range. I think I've already done it. Have I done it? Oh, it's expired me. Damn it. I can't log in on. Anyway, I set it. I'll try to remember. Actually, let me check. I want to tell you exactly so you can have it the same. I'll check on my phone. Okay, here we go. I set, show me detail. Well, I'm already in 1.81% profit. So there we go. Okay. So my lower range is at 0.1588. Okay. And so just below this wick here on the 4-hour time frame, my upper range, I bet you I put it up here. My upper range is 0.43. Yeah. So if this turns out, so that's my lower and upper range, okay? And I did 280 grids. I wish I was logged in. Wait, let me just switch to my face. I don't even think I can log in because oh, hang on. Let me just try because I want to show you properly. 1 second. Whilst you're waiting, you can smash the like button if you haven't already. I will be checking up on that in a second. Okay, it will log me in now. Confirm on your app. I did. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. Now I can show you. Wait, did it go back? Yes. Okay. So can you see it? Hang on. Here. Okay. So that's the one that I just opened. Why was oh yes, because I wanted to show you the actual settings. Okay. So here, the range is 0.158 to 0.43, 280 grids. My liquidation is 0.1017. That's all you really need to know. Oh, and I'm on 3x leverage. That liquidation is pretty close, like technically. So I would not go higher than 3x leverage. But yeah, that's the moral of the story. And that's what I did. And so if you want to copy, you can now just go and create your own. Was that helpful? Do you guys understand why I did that? Rectember. Is the options expiry after US session? I don't know if it's after or during. I'm not quite sure. All right, I think I've shown you everything that I wanted to show you. Does anyone have any requests that they want me to look at? Let me check if you deserve answers to your requests. 460. Oh, yeah, not bad. I appreciate that ratio. No requests? Let me go back to Bitcoin while I'm waiting for your answers so we can see what's happening on the smaller time frame. Actually, yeah. We're in UK session now. Okay. Options expire at US close, says LTech Codes. Thank you for that. Oh, Aptos, I showed you Aptos. It looked rubbish. Link, didn't I show you Link? Yeah, I did show you Link. Don't tell me stuff I already showed you. AVAX I looked at, but I purposely skipped it. Where is it? Yeah, I skipped it because there's nothing really for me to tell you. This is Rise 1 retracement 2. Should be another one to come, but we would expect a retracement. Why don't I have any drawings on this chart? That's weird. Oh, here it is. So we're awaiting a retest. So the reason this broke out so strong was because of this vector here. So when price returns to a fast moving large vector, it will also move fast until it rebalances. So right now, this whole range here needs to rebalance. So what I would like to see happen on AVAX now, it may take time because the daily time frame, I'd like to see a rebalance means basically we build a flag, we consolidate and retrace, and then it will take off again. So yeah, if you're in it, if you're in it to hold it for long term, this isn't a point to sell. Like you may take some profit because it's at a key resistance as well. If you look here, prior support now flipped resistance. So it's a good, oh, far out. It's a good spot to take some profit here, but expect a retracement and then it should move further to the upside, probably to this level next, 44.10. Bitcoin options expired, stock options are later. Okay, Penguin I already did. Carver I hate. Wormhole, don't know what that is, but sounds like a meme. Oh, Solana. I don't think there's anything to say about Solana either. Didn't I talk about Solana? Yeah, I did. I talked about Solana being in the, wait, where is this from? All the way back here. So this candle here from January was a very strong selling candle that got retested, and that is why we are now back here struggling in the zone again. So, but at the end of the day, it's fine. It's not like a big strong rejection, you know. This is a high time frame rise, retracement, high time frame rise, retracements. All these high time frame retracements might be that correction that comes in the next couple of weeks, you know. CRO, I set up a bot on CRO, by the way. I don't think I've made it public yet, but I will. I'll put it in the file. Wait, where's CRO in my list? I don't have it here. We use OKX. So this is what I'm expecting the last one to do, right? It's how the fast, I mean, this is an extreme version, but basically this. So yeah, fast move, sell off. This is basically a pump and dump. However, it's tapering off now, which is a good sign that the sell might soon be over. It's a good sign that it's at the 200 EMA. It may break it as a like stop hunt move because of this candle right here. So there's no signs it's reversing yet, but it is absolutely worth watching. If it comes more into this candle and then we start to see either a stop hunt or smaller time frame change in trend, then it would be a buy. But for me right now, it's not a buy. It's still got more selling to do. ENA, I'm pretty sure ENA's where is ENA? Yeah, it's in my not ready list. So that's an M formation, which doesn't look great. It's an M formation. I mean, I think ENA it had such a big run up. The profits should have been taken on it. It needs to correct a little bit. You know, prior support, flipped resistance, couldn't break it. Hasn't broken the daily 50 yet, but looks like it's about to. Yeah, this isn't price action I like to trade personally. It looks like it's got to correct. London to New York trade. You guys keep saying that. It's the same as Asia to UK. It's the same. There's only one thing that is different, one extra trading thing that is different, which I will not cover on YouTube because it's too hectic. And if you want to learn it, you have to be in Discord with me when I live trade it. And if you're part of the private community, you will know exactly what I'm talking about because the Discord goes fucking wild when that particular one shows up, but it needs guidance. So I can't teach it on YouTube, but everything else is the same. Asia to UK, the setups you look for are the same UK to US. If you want me to do a video with that title, I will do it, but it will be the same video. Okay, what else? I think VET I also did look at earlier and I didn't like the price action. Yeah, like it's, you know what I mean? Great bot. We've got a bot going on VET. This has been a great range for the bots. Really, really good. But there's nothing for me to tell you as far as a trade on it now. Yeah, there's nothing for me to tell you. Rise, retracement, rise, like all alts. The only difference with this one is this rise created a higher high, whereas a lot of other 4 hours have created a lower high. So that's a good sign. If it comes back maybe to the 50 EMA, maybe you want to take a trade there back to resistance. Doesn't look like a huge risk to reward to me. Not something I would be interested in, but that's the best I think you can expect out of it for now. Doge. I did want to look at Doge, actually. So see what I mean? Had a rise and a lower high. So it might not be bad though. Like I'm keeping an eye on Doge. You can see I've got my alert there just as a first area to look to see if it retests, because it might be doing like this, right? And then it goes off. So that's not necessarily an automatic buy zone. That's just an area for me to see, okay, what's going on and is it worth me paying attention? But the reason I'm keeping an eye on this is because we had a bot going on Doge and I took profit up here on it. I closed the bot. So everybody got to secure their profits on that. And now I'm looking to start a new one. I already have a trade on Doge, so I don't need one, but I'm looking to set a new one. And I want to see if this actually ends up turning into a symmetrical triangle. It's not enough there for it to be that, but I want to see if it turns out to be that way, because if it does, that's super bullish. So I'm basically waiting for this. If that happens, you know, and I see it come down to the bottom and create a higher low, that's probably where I'll set up a bot on it. For now, nothing. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see if this actually ends up becoming the pattern. Tau, I don't think I have on this list. Tau, let's check. Let me know in the comments, did you actually take that Pengu trade, by the way, and did you hold it all the way to TP2? Whether you took some profit and got back in, doesn't matter. It's actually good trade management. But have you actually held it all the way to the TP2? Tau's also a good bot, to be honest with you. It's a good bot range. It looks a bit corrective to me though. So I'm not sure that I would long it. Doesn't look like a good trade. Looks like a good bot range. All right, anything else? All-time high would be awesome. It's all-time high coin. What do you mean all-time high? Hype. I don't think I've ever looked at hype. Hype. Is there... This is the first time I'm ever looking at this thing. I don't know. You want to buy the peak? What do you want to do here? This would have to correct hardcore for there to be any worthy risk to reward. I mean, it's respecting daily time frame 50 EMA. So if you got it back there, say about 45. Is it about 45? Oh no, it's 48. About there. But this isn't for me. There's not a big enough risk to reward. Is there an option to withdraw unrealized profit in Pionex without stopping the bot? Yeah, you just you can only do the, let me find one. You can only withdraw this part. You don't stop the bot. You can't withdraw this, but you can withdraw this. It doesn't stop the bot when you do it. I got to remember how to do it. Here, release profit. That doesn't stop the bot. Okay, what else? Have you enjoyed this stream? If you have, let me know in the comments. Is Solana going to $200? 200. Oh, I wouldn't be mad if it did. I mean, there's a lot of liquidity there. It could. If we have a correction, it could. But if we remain like bullish, it might only come back to retest like 215, or it could only come back to here as well. if it's extremely bullish. But I wouldn't take 200 off the cards if we correct. Yeah, could. What's your best guess on the bottom for Sol? I mean, look, let's just look at the data and the facts. Let's just put this heat map on so you can see for yourself. There's massive liquidity, really, even down. I mean, I don't think this is going to happen, but it's there. And if it's there, you have to pay attention. It's even down here. What am I doing here? So this is the biggest area of interest because it's very, very yellow. This shows you how crazy retail are. Like, look at this. This has been trending up since $95, higher highs, higher lows, right? And most people got in here on this candle after the breakout. That's why that liquidity is there. That is their liquidation levels. So they're long here in these candles after all of this. That's usually when you see a rejection because that shows you late retail, and late retail are always the target. So it could be a sign that a correction will come. But yeah, you have to see what happens if it does come back into this zone. And then if you don't see bullishness out of that zone, then you wait a bit longer and you expect it's going to come to the next one. If you didn't see it there, next one. If you didn't see it there, next one. So what is the absolute potential bottom? 143 to 156. But that doesn't mean I think it's going there. I would have to see what happens here first, what happens here second, what happens here third, before this even becomes a thought in my mind, if that makes sense. I took Pengo, sold before stop loss, failed to get back in. Doesn't matter. That means you sold before stop loss. So you took profit, I think that means, right? So you made money. Short it. Hype just goes up. Yeah, totally. Ondo. I'm pretty sure I did a bot on Ondo too. Ondo. Here it is. So this was it might have been last Friday setup, which happened. So breakout retest. But again, let me go down to the 4 hour. It's creating a lower high. So this is the problem. The thing is right now, what we don't know is if these lower highs will create descending triangles, that because it came from an uptrend, the descending triangle might break out to the upside, even though I understand that's meant to be bearish. In a macro bull market, it may not be bearish, or it could create symmetrical triangles. So these are just signs that we need more time. It doesn't invalidate any trade yet, but be prepared for it to come back to entry if you only got in on retest. Most of you got in here, hopefully, so you're okay for it to pull back a little bit. But then the red flag for that is if it does break the zone, especially if it breaks a 200 EMA, you probably don't want to stay long. But these all now just need a chance to form a structure, which might end up being something like that. And then it does something like that. Again, going to take time. What about whiff? Do I have whiff here? Yes, I do. That's actually looking decent. This doesn't look bad. I think this is going to break out. I don't know if it's going to come down more before it does break out, but I think it's going to break out because, hang on, let me find the right tool, which I can't, so forget it. This is going to be a cup and handle, which might do this and then go spastic. So wait, are we allowed to say that word in 2025? If not, apologize. But that's what I think might happen. Wait, this is not what I want to do. What am I doing? Do you want to exit? Yes. Oh, that's what I would look out for on whiff anyway. In the meantime, again, it's a good bot range because it's just ranging, but see if this actually does form a flag. And if it does, get ready, because let me just get all this drawing off now. No, why is everything going the wrong way today? This week, everything's going the wrong way this whole week. Do you want to exit? Yes, I do want to exit, and I want to get this off because I want to draw this properly. Okay, so yeah. I'm going to say this whole zone is the area of interest. And what I would like to see happen is that this is the beginning of a flag that goes like this. Okay, so this is the idea that ends up doing something like this. And if that happened, maybe it's a wedge, then I think it would be worth taking a chance on. So I would set my alert for this on, let's do the 200 EMA first, and we'll see what happens there, because it may also create a triangle, a symmetrical triangle. So let's keep an eye on the 200 EMA first. And if we don't see buyers step in there, then we just move our alert down to the top of this area of interest at 0.866, and we just wait a bit longer. And yeah, we just wait for as long as it's in this zone. But I think this could end up being potentially like the next Pengu, but it needs more time. So it needs a lot more time. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed today. I haven't heard that word for ages. NRJ still says So thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday. Just be careful again of the expiries and everything like that. Make sure your trades are protected, especially if you're holding through the, well, if it's leverage trades that you're holding through the weekend. I'll be back next week to see if we really do have a chance of correction anytime soon, or if we're going to actually get that Bitcoin 1 hour fake out. But hopefully you guys know what to look for. If you did, be sure to smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Don't forget to join those exchanges if you're wanting to trade stocks, or if you're wanting to copy the bots or just bot trade yourself even. And I'll see you guys on the next one.